Ladies and gentlemen, Ukraine versus Belarus.
And the teams are ready, the fighters have greeted each other. Few signs of mutual respect. Remember, no matter how fierce the competition, no matter how much there is at stake, this is a sport, and sport is about respect and friendship, and that's what HMB is proving to be. Now we're ready and waiting for this fight to get underway. Ukraine against Belarus in the final stage of the 5 versus 5 competition.
Are you ready?
And we are ready to get things going here.
First round.
The final stage of 5 versus 5 in Battle of the Nations 2014 has officially begun. Ukraine against Belarus. And this fight is stopped. It's a win for Belarus.
First round for Belarus.
And this first round has gone to Belarus. We're getting set for round number 2.
3 points for Belarus.
After a 3-point victory for Belarus.
Fighters. Are you ready? Fight.
And we're off and running with round 2 in the finals stage between Belarus and Ukraine, ladies and gentlemen.
First fighter is down.
And the fight is stopped. And this second round goes to the Ukrainian team. And as it looks to me now, this fight is not yet over. One Belarus fighter still on the list. And as it looks, he will be facing one of the Ukrainian fighters in a decisive duel on this second round. All the other Belarus fighters have left the list. And off we go with this 1 against 2 battle. 1 Belarus fighter against 2 Ukrainian fighters now. To determine the winner of this second round. Now he, of course, is trying to avoid the clinch that the Ukrainian fighter is going for, because in the clinch he can barely deal with 2 fighters. fighter now packed up against the fence with the Ukrainian adversaries trying to chop him down. We're still waiting for the confirmation of this second round. With the Belarus fighter breaking free, and now this is it! The victory for Ukraine in the second round. 2 points to Ukraine.
This was second round.
And now we're getting set for round number 3 once the Belarus fighter is back on his feet.
Third and final round.
And we're off and running with the third and final bout in the fight between Belarus and Ukraine. We expect another high-speed fight, although the fighters are already slightly worn out after so many fights over the past 3 days. This is day 4 of Battle of the Nations, and we are still going strong. And for whatever reason, the Ukrainian fighter was stood up again. I don't know why. He was visibly on the ground. Marshals are discussing the whereabouts.
2 fighters left. 5.
And that means 2 fighters are still left in the game. And that is a draw.
0 points.
And that is a draw, and we are heading into round number 4
We're going to the next round
to decide who wins this incredibly exciting and long-lasting bout between the Ukraine and Belarus. And we are getting set and ready for the 4th round in this fight, ladies and gentlemen. 4 rounds in this incredibly exhausting battle between Ukraine and Belarus. First round was a 3-point victory for Belarus. The second round was a 2-point victory for Ukraine. And the third round we've just seen was a draw.
Are we ready?
And I guess we can get started now with the 4th round of this fight. And off we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 4 between Ukraine 1 and Belarus 1. And that was a series of fighters tumbling to the ground, but I think one of the Belarus fighters made it out on his feet without touching the ground. And that now looks like an advantage for Belarus. If I'm correct, it's 3 against 2. And the Belarus fighters just chopping down their opponents now. And one of the Belarus fighters is taken out of this fight. And now we're left with 2 against 1. Hard hits to the leg. And now to the head. And I think we'll see the end of this fight very soon now, and I think Belarus have the advantage. They have the high ground now. They are 2 against 1. And the fight is stopped. The fight is interrupted. And it's a victory for Belarus. It's the victory for Belarus. They win against Ukraine in the 4th round, a 4-round fight for Belarus against Ukraine. 3 points in the final round. And Belarus are going through.
Ladies and gentlemen, next fight, we have Russia 1 and Gate 1.
And the loser of this fight gets to battle for the 5th place. Whereas the winner of this fight and the next fight between Russia 3 and Russia 2
2 minutes until next
compete
fight.
against the winner of this fight between Poland and Ukraine for a spot in the finals. So one of these two teams will face one of the Russian teams for a spot in the finals.
Poland versus Ukraine.
And a very enjoyable sight of the fighters just greeting each other respectfully, a sign of mutual respect and friendship. Before the teams are getting set up for round 1.
One minute left until next fight.
The teams are getting set up for what promises to be another very exciting fight. Ukraine 1 against Poland 1, and off we go with this fight. The first round. Fight is stopped, broken up by the marshals. And that is a first round victory for Ukraine.
3 points for Ukraine.
With 3 points for the Ukrainian team.
Are you ready? Fight!
And we're off and running with round number 2 between Poland and Ukraine for the last chance into a final spot. The loser of this fight goes on to battle for the 5th place in this tournament. And this is it.
3 points for Ukraine.
Ukraine go through
Ukraine
and
wins.
kick Poland out of the contest for the World Championship.
Next fight.
Ukraine wins this fight.
Russia 3 versus Russia 2.
Ukraine
Russia
have won this
3
fight.
on gate 1 versus
And the question is, will we see another no contest here between the Russian teams? And it looks like another handing over of the flag of the Russian Federation. And that means we have another no contest, I think. The fighters are walking off the list.
technical victory for Russia 2.
And Russia 2 go on, and that means Russia 3 are out of the competition for the title. Now we'll have a 10 minutes break until the next fight. See you in a bit.
Number 22, Poland 1 versus Russia 3. Poland 1 comes to gate 1 versus Russia 3 on gate 2. Fighters, prepare yourself.
До бою осталось 5 минут. До бою залишилось 5 хвилин.
3 minutes until next fight.
And this is what this sport is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Entertainment, fun. And this is what the Russian team are displaying here. Always good for a laughter, the Russian team. Just before getting ready for their bout against the Polish adversaries.
Are you ready? Fight!
And off we go in this 5 versus 5 bout. We're already at the final stage. And the Russian fighters are displaying why they are considered the best in the world. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Russia 3 is the team that took the victory in battle, and they take the victory.
5 points for Russia! Are you ready? Fight! Stop the fight.
And this fight is over. Victory for Russia, 2-round victory for Russia, Poland. Russia 3 take the 5th place
Russia.
in this competition in 2013.
Russia wins. Seconds until next fight. Are you ready? Fight!
Apologies for the silence, ladies and gentlemen. We've been having some technical issues here, but it should be fine now. We're into the fight of Ukraine 1 against Russia 2, and this is one of the top fights in. This is the fight for the first spot in the finals, and it's a win in this first round.
4 points for Russia. Are you ready? Fight!
win this
Fight!
And we have a winner in this round. It's a victory for Belarus.
3 points for Belarus!
3 points go to Belarus.
Are you ready? Fight!
And we're off and running with round number 2 in this fight between Russia and Belarus. Russia versus Belarus, competing for a spot in the finals of this tournament. And this is one of the most exciting fights in this Battle of the Nations. And a hard knockout for the Belarus fighter, just chopped down by the polearm fighter. But he's conscious, he's sitting upright already, and Russia equalize in this semi-final fight. And as it looks to me, I didn't see it from the commentary stand, but apparently one of the Russian fighters hit a fighter who was already on the ground in the head with the halberd, and that might result in a penalty or at least a yellow card for the Russian fighter. We'll have to wait and see what the marshals decide on.
Russian fighter gets yellow card.
And there is the confirmation, a yellow card for the Russian fighter. A yellow card for the Russian fighter for hitting a fighter that was already grounded. Thanks to Ivan Kuryagin for the information.
Three points for Russia.
Nevertheless, it's a 3-point victory for Russia.
Are you ready? Fight!
And here we go with the third and final round. The decision is there. Right at our hands is the first of two contestants in the final fight for the World Championship. Will it be Belarus or will it be Russia? We'll know in just a second. That is now a numerous advantage for Russia. 4 against 3. And now this advantage has been equalized. And the Russian fighter is obviously taken out of this competition. So now it's 3 against 2 if I'm correct. Now the fans are jumping in, the 6th man on the field, Belarus cheering for the Belarus team. The entire stand is going at it now. And this is excitement at its best. This is Battle of the Nations action. Belarus versus Russia. Let's see how this plays out. If one of the Russian fighters goes to the ground without a Belarus fighter joining him, and this fight is over. And I think we have a Russian fighter on the ground. And this is it, the fight is broken up. The fight is stopped and Belarus go through to the World Championship Finals at Battle of the Nations 2014. The Russian team is defeated, Belarus are in the finals. And I could just see Russian officials talking to the marshals, so it looks as though there might be an appeal filed by the Russian team, perhaps in connection with that Russian fighter who was taken out of the fight by the marshals just before the elimination of the Russian team. So we might have a bit of delay in finding out who will actually compete in the finals, although for the moment it looks as though it was Belarus. I can finally see the marshals descending from their stand. It looks as though we have a decision on what was the Russian appeal. So we'll just have to wait and see for a couple of seconds until there is an announcement. Please be patient. And ladies and gentlemen, exciting news. We will have a refight 3 against 3. A refight of the last round of Belarus versus Russia. So apparently the Russian appeal was in fact profound. And so the Belarus advance to the finals is not yet safe. Still a high chance that Russia take the win home after all. So there was the official announcement. We have a rematch of Belarus against Russia. The last round was obviously seen as a no contest due to confusion between the marshals, and now we will see the last round reset to 3 fighters on each side. And then we'll see who goes through and who goes out. Now we do not know yet what the official reason for the refight is, but we see that the teams are getting prepared just outside the list and ready to get started. And the fans are starting to cheer for Belarus again in a fight. Let's call it by the name. It's the underdog. It's the David versus the Goliath. It's Belarus versus Russia, and we are still going in this fight.
Get ready!
And off we go, ladies and gentlemen, with the rematch between Russia and Belarus. 3 versus 3. This will be the ultimate and final decision as to who goes through and who goes out. The winner gets the spot in the finals. We have 2 Belarus fighters dealing with 1 Russian fighter, and the fight is stopped. The fight is over, and Russia win under the booing of the crowd. And it looks as though the Belarus captain is not happy with that result and talking to the marshals now. And in the name of the sport, let's not have another refight. Let's have a decision now.
So, in this round, Russian fighter got red card. How we go?
And we have the first red card of the tournament for one of the Russian fighters. And I'm afraid we're still not done with this fight between Russia and Belarus. Let's see how this plays out, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last fight was resumed with score with 3 Russians and 3 Belarus fighters because one of the Russian fighters was seated by judges' mistake. And we've seen the situation video replay, and we decided to resume the fight from the moment we made a mistake. That's why they were ending 3-3. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have confirmation on both marshals' decisions. First of all, the fight was resumed due to the fact that a Russian fighter was seated by the marshals, which was considered a wrong decision, and it was proven to be a wrong decision. The marshals checked the video replay, and in fact the fighter was not on the ground before that, and the red card was given for unsportsmanlike behavior. One of the Russian fighters is supposed to have shown to one of the Belarus fighters an unfair gesture and was thus red carded. This is now the fight for the second final spot. This is the second semi-final. Belarus still have a chance of going to the finals, supposed they win this fight. The loser of this fight goes to compete for 3rd place. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen, the second semi-final, let's call it that way. If Belarus wins this fight, then they have a second chance to get back at Russia, advance to the finals after a controversial fight. The loser of this fight takes the 3rd place, so there's still a chance we see a non-Russian champion this year. Off we go with Russia against Belarus. Belarus 1 against Russia 2. fight is stopped. It's a 4-point victory for Russia in the first round. Now this could already be a long appearance for Belarus in this next round. They have to win it, or else they're out of position. And if Russia win it, they
Prepare for second round.
And now you can hear the fans cheering for Russia, ladies and gentlemen. Rossiya is what they call Russia, Russia. And this could be the final round in the second semi-final. It's Russia against Belarus. And off we go with the fight. The last chance for Belarus to take the title home. If they win this fight, they have still got a chance to go on to the finals and compete against Russia in the final fight. And the fight is stopped and broken up, and in this second, in this very moment, we know one thing for certain. The world champions of 2014 come from Russia, ladies and gentlemen. Russia will win the 2014 5 vs 5 nomination. The only question remaining is, will it be Team 1 or Team 2? That is the only thing we do not know yet. Congratulations to Russia, and congratulations also to Belarus, who put up one hell of a fight until the very end and already had one leg in the finals.
Next we have 10 minutes break. After that we have Russia 1 versus Russia 2.
And that was the official confirmation. Now we have a 10 minutes break, and after that we're heading for the final fight, the last fight of Battle of the Nations 2014. The anniversary event is coming to an end, and we are looking into who will take the title. We know it's going to Russia. The question is, Russia 1 or Russia 2?
Russia 1 and Russia 2.
And the Russian teams are on the list, and we see another handing over of the flag. So we know that this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The world champions are crowned. No contest in the finals. And this means that for another year, Russia have the clean sweep. Russia have taken home all the titles this year. They have the first female champion in Battle of the Nations history. They have won the 5 vs 5 nomination, the 21 vs 21 mass battle nomination, and of course Sergei Ukolov has taken home the title in the 1 vs 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the end of Battle of the Nations 2014, and that means this is also the end for me, Matthias Kainz, as your commentator. I want to express my thanks to my co-commentators Ivan Koryagin and Lorenzo Gentile, who've made this a very exciting weekend for me. And I want to thank especially all of you for viewing us, for tuning in, and for reliving and living the Middle Ages with us. Thank you for joining us, thank you for tuning in, and see you next year. This is Battle of the Nations.
Thank you very much. Good luck. So, congratulations. This is the final day of Battle of the Nations. Your impressions of this festival this year? Newcomers you think are strong enough to compete in the next years for the first places? How about newcomers? Those teams who have joined us only this year or maybe last year? Do you have any special preparation before you come to Battle of the Nations and fight? What do you like about historical medieval battle? Are you going to join us next year? Thank you very much. Good luck.